The final 7 episodes of Noah Hawley's Alien Earth have been an incredible journey. From the murders of certain significant individuals to the hidden motivations of Boy Cavalier, there have been surprises at every step. The xenomorph first encounters Arthur's decomposing body in the finale before retreating back into the forest. As Dame Sylvia brings flowers to the cemetery and sets them on each child's grave, it observes. When she turns around, the alien is there, poised to attack. But the Prodigy security team, which includes Rashidi and Siberian, shoots it first, frightening the xenomorph away. Boy Cavalier receives a report on the island's condition from Adam Ines. Because Yutani jammed the satellites and the connections were cut, communications are down. The Lost Boys, including a recovered Wendy and Nibs, are being held in a holding cell while non-essential people have been evacuated. The xenomorph is killing all of Boy Cavalier's soldiers while the forces search for it. Ines believes it's time to leave, but Boy Cavalier isn't paying attention. Rather, he's viewing old video of Marcy's transformation into Wendy. The boy genius tells the sheep that he wishes he could hear its voice as it remains in its containment unit. Despite being housed in different cells, Wendy and Joe are still thinking about one another, as the Lost Boys talk about what it means to be alive. Wendy is also thinking about the graves she witnessed. The fact that Nibs believes them to be ghosts gives Wendy the notion that it's time for people to fear them. All of the systems begin to fail before Boy Cavalier can take any action. The synth advises the genius to be wise instead of angry when Boy Cavalier broadcasts to Kirsch, who is in the new lab with the new, smaller xenomorph and already knows that Wayland Yutani is on their way. Boy Cavalier is struggling to keep his temper in check. He desires the battle. With his eyes on the sheep, he orders his bodyguard to bring Adam to him and then says, "I think I'll feed you someone weak." Even after the lift opens without anyone inside, Prodigy's 4-person security team still patrols the hallways. Rashidi is uneasy about that, but they all enter nevertheless. But the lift stops a few floors up and starts counting down to self-destruction. However, since Wendy and Smee are viewing a camera and manipulating everything with their thoughts, it isn't real. She pauses on a different feed of Joe and expresses her grief that he went with them, while Smee continues to think of him as belonging to us. Wendy is satisfied and opens his cell with a flick of her fingers. Joe prevents Morrow from killing the guard after he assaults him right away. Returning to the lab, Morrow approaches Kirsch from behind, or so he believes, until Kirsch abruptly turns and shoots a gun, resulting in a full-scale battle between the cyborg and the synthetic. As the white fluid begins to pour from Kirsch's mouth after Morrow breaks his back, he informs him that man always prevails. Don't be too certain about that, because something escapes when a glass pane behind him breaks. Now distracted, Kirsch effortlessly strangles Morrow to death. While Boy Cavalier visits the Lost Boys and laments that he no longer has anyone with whom to play. Wendy unlocks their door with a snap of her fingers. Instead of running away, Boy Cavalier approaches and goes into the cage to share the tale of his father's alcoholism. He mocks the Lost Boys by claiming that they are his floor models. His prodigy bodyguard orders them to the ground as they begin to round him, and Nibs punches him in the face till he is gone. Wendy tells him to run, and Boy Cavalier pays attention for once. Wendy is pursuing Boy Cavalier in a game of hide-and-seek, while others are instructed to locate Dame Sylvia and Kirsch, and Curly is instructed to gather the soldiers. Adam Ines approaches Joe and informs him that Boy Cavalier has a proposal he would want to discuss. With Nibs ambushing Dame Sylvia in her quarters and the xenomorph annihilating every soldier it encounters in the hallways, everything is collapsing. Slightly and Smee discover a gravely injured Kirsch crawling across the lab floor. Instead of tying up the unconscious Morrow as he instructs, they tie Kirsch up. Smee declares, "Your time is done. It's our time now." Adam Ines leads Joe to Boy Cavalier's workplace. Wendy's brother is now alone, but the small containment container is open, and the sheep stands free in the room. The alien eye shoots out of its head and heads right for Joe. Before it can reach its target, Wendy is there and snatches the alien away and tosses it to the ground. Adam Ines then assaults Wendy and effortlessly knocks her and her brother down. Adam is frozen in his tracks when Wendy swiftly awakens and kicks the alien eye away. Wendy refuses to forgive Joe after he apologizes to her about Nibs. She is unsure of who she is, but she is aware that she is helpless. While the xenomorph crawls on the ceiling, Boy Cavalier is walking through the ruins of his wealth, not realizing it until it is directly in front of him. Wendy and Joe enter the room, but with a single summons, Wendy instructs it to kill the troops entering behind Boy Cavalier instead, and the alien readily follows instructions. Meanwhile, Siberian Rashidi and the other security services start patrolling the lab, while the plant like alien hides in the shadows and drops onto Siberian, wrapping her up whole and squeezing her to death. The alien eye climbs inside Arthur's corpse on the beach after finally finding a human host. He sits up instantly, feeling somehow alive once more. What a zombie. As Wendy circles a cell containing all of their prisoners in hand, Yutani's men are flying in. Wendy claims that Boy Cavalier is a cruel, terrible man and not Peter Pan. He has no choice but to accept it as Ainz is powerless to assist him. Joe and the other Lost Boys are unsure on what to do next. Now we rule, Wendy exclaims as the adult and infant xenomorphs crawl outside the holding cell,